Welcome back. So in this video we're going to talk about financial projections. Now I'm only going to talk about this briefly because I've got an entire playlist on both the economics of the business and your financial projections. I've got it in the impressions, in the card. So if you look at the eye on the upper corner there and you click that, you'll see that playlist. I'll also put that link down below so you can get a little more depth on that. But again, this is just the basics of business plans in this particular video. But you need to at least show that you've thought about where your business is going. That's why we do this financial projections, right? Remember I talked about potentiality in this business plan? You want to communicate that excitement, and you're going to do it in numbers with your financial projections. You're going to say, okay, today we're here, but this is where we're going tomorrow. And if you write it well enough, you can say, this is where we're going tomorrow, and this is where we need your help, banker, venture capitalist, etc. This is where we need your help, and this is where you're going to fit into that plan. Okay? Think of it like that. Everything else you do on that, think of it in those terms. How do you include, how do you pull them in? How do you communicate that excitement, that potentiality? Okay? So what are the things that normally go in a financial projection? Well, things like sources and uses of funds, right? Now think about, what are your sources and uses of funds? Well, unfortunately for a lot of entrepreneurs, it's from your personal bank, your own personal savings. I, Mr. Dave the entrepreneur, I, Dr. D the entrepreneur, have $50,000 in my bank account, and I'm going to use all of that money to pay for, a lease, equipment, whatever it happens to be. Okay. Other examples of funding would be things like, I've got a loan from my parents, I've got a loan from the bank. I'm hoping that you, Mr. and Mrs. Venture Capitalist, are going to give me a certain amount of money in exchange for partial ownership. That would be where you would include that kind of stuff. I am an expert at bootstrapping. Okay, you might include that as well. Okay. Also include your assumption sheet. And your assumption sheet is kind of the foundation for all of your pro forma documents. That's where you give me a narrative or maybe some diagrams explaining where you think your financial projections will go and why do you think that they're going to go there. Again, I'm a big fan of incorporating stuff from like the industry and the market analysis, and you may also wish to use a scenario building methodology to describe broader economic trends, or even something like a pest analysis. If you don't remember scenario building, I've got it, you check the cards, which is the little thing with the eye, you click that, and I've also got the link to that playlist down below. But you want to start by painting that kind of future picture of where you think the broader economy will go, and then you kind of work your way down into things like, well, I think that we're going to make this amount of money next year based on current macroeconomic trends, but most importantly, and this communicates the best message, based on how my competitors in this market are doing, based on broader industry trends, or even the best one, we did this last year and we believe we will have this much growth this year. Right? So if you've got kind of a record of the past, that's the easiest one. But you want to put all of those different assumptions in there into your assumption sheet. Okay? Let people know kind of what you're thinking. And then based on those assumptions, that's when you start doing things like your pro forma income statement, your pro forma balance sheet, your pro forma cash flows, any ratio analysis that you've done. Again, I've got all that in my other playlist on the basics of accounting for entrepreneurs. But this is why you need to do these things. And again, use this as an opportunity to communicate. Maybe you don't need to overwhelm them with lots and lots of details. You can put a lot of the hard stuff in an appendix. If it winds up being like several dozen pages, put it in an appendix, right? Let them look at it if they want. You want to try to keep your financial projections, if it's a written business plan, I'd say keep it absolutely under 5 pages. That would really be the absolute most. A couple pages is best. Use maybe a diagram to communicate everything, or a snapshot from one of your pro forma documents. I think that's the best way to do it. And then things like the scenario building, your pest analysis, all that stuff, put that in the appendix. Still included the business plan, but put it in an appendix. Other than that, those are kind of the main portions of a financial projections. In our next video, we're going to talk about how you actually present the plan. As always, hope you enjoyed this video. Give me a thumbs up, that's like a like. If you have any comments, post them down below, and make sure that you subscribe. And as I pointed out, if you want more information on how to do these financial projections, look at my playlist called The Basics of Accounting for Entrepreneurs. Awesome. I'll see you in the next video.